In this video, we're going to look at how to divide whole numbers. So first, we look at example 1792 divided by 7. We set up a long division. 1792 goes underneath the line, horizontal line, and the 7, the divisor, goes on the left side. So when we you can think of this as you have $1,792 and you're going to divide it to equally to 7 people, and how much does each person get. So we want to check 7. When we start doing this, we will start with we focus on the number 7. So if we look at 7 and look at this 1,000, 7 goes into 1. How many times? Apparently 7 does not go into 1, so we're going to put a 0 here. If you omit this 0, that is fine, because a 0 at the beginning. So for example, if you have 0, 20, this pretty much is considered as 20. But you need to make sure if you have 20, you cannot write it as, you cannot omit this 2. You cannot just write it as 2, drop the 0. Or if you have 207, you have to write that 0 there. You cannot get rid of the 0 to get 27, and that apparently they're not equal. But if you have 0 in front of it, say 0207, this first 0 can be omitted because this 0 does not really make any contribution. Okay, so let's go back here. If you don't want to put a 0, that's fine, but if you want to keep it there and when you write down and copy the answer, you can omit it, just to remind yourself. So 7 goes into 1, does not go into 1, so what you can say, 7 goes into 1 0 times. So now let's check. So 7 times 0, that would give us, so we multiply 7 to 0, that would give us a 0. And 1 minus 0, that will still give us 1. So usually we don't really do this because when you subtract a 0, it's not going to change anything. So usually you can go ahead, say, well, because 7 does not go into 1, I'm going to add one more digit and take a look. Does 7 go into 17? Yes, 7 goes into 17. How many times? And we're going to try, say, 1 7 is 7, 2 7s is 14, 3 7 you get 21. It's going to be bigger than 17, so you don't want to get a bigger number than 17. So let's try to put 2 here. And okay, it's like you think of it as like you have 17 and you want to check 7 goes into 17 how many times at most. So remember, it doesn't have to be exactly the same as 17, as long as you don't go over it. And that will be fine. So 7 times 2, we multiply, we get 14. So we're going to do a subtraction. Let me erase this line here. And we will get 7. Make sure you remember it's subtraction. This minus sign can be omitted, but if you want to put there to remind yourself, that's fine. So 17 minus 14, 7 minus 4, that's 3. 1 minus 1, it's 0. This 0 can be omitted if it's there's not a number on the left side of 0. Now let's check here. We got a remainder 0. So 7. So if you have $17 and divide by 7, you give everybody $2, and that would cost you $14 because one person, $7, 7 people, everybody gets $2. 7 times 2, that'll give you 14, and then you only have $3 left, and that's not enough to give to these 7 people equally if we don't look at decimals. So now let's move down the next number 9, and we're gonna repeat the process to check 7 goes into 39 how many times. And we can try 4 7s is 28, 5 7s is 35, but 6 7 you get 42, so you can put 5 at the most. Okay, so you got $39 now, and 7 people, everybody gets $5. So you're gonna give everybody $5. That will cost you 7 times 5, which is $35. You put right next to it so you can compare these two numbers. Well, so $39 minus $35, that will leave you a $4. And apparently $4 are not enough to divide into 7 people. If again we don't consider decimals here. And now we move down the next two. And 7 goes into 42. Again, repeat the process. 7 goes into 42 exactly 6 times. And 6 times 7, we can double check. You get 42. And so $42, give everybody $6, and that would be exactly $42. And then you have no money left. So when we copy the answer, you can omit this 0 here and just put 256. Well, so this number right here, 256, we call it quotient. After you do division, you get a quotient, and whatever left is called a remainder. In this case, the remainder is just a 0. And sometimes the remainder may not be zeros. Now let's take a look at another example. And this time I'm going to divide, say, 5, 1, 2 by maybe 7. So we set up the long division, 1, 5, 1, 2 divided by 7. So again, first, if we only look at the first digit, 7 does not go into 1. And we have to take 2 digits. And 7 goes into 15 2 times. So we put 14 right below 15 and do subtraction, see how much is left. And 5 minus 4 is 1. And we copy down another 1 and we do it again. So 7 goes into 11 only 1 time, and we will get 7. And 1 7 is still 7. So 11 minus 7, that would be 4. And we copy down the next 2. And 7 goes into 42 6 times. So 7 times 6 is 42. And we get 0. So the answer is 216.